All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today is August 2019. This is the meeting of the Kubernetes Storage Special Interest Group. As a reminder, this meeting is recorded and published on YouTube. So on the agenda today, primarily we're going to be going over the planning spreadsheet to get status updates on the items that the SIG is working on for the 1.16 release. Of course, feel free to add to the agenda any PRs that you think need attention, designs that need to be reviewed, or any miscellaneous discussions that you want to have. We'll come back to those after the planning session. So let's go ahead and jump into the spreadsheet and start getting status updates. First item is CSI migration beta, improving test coverage, volume patch limits, resizing. David, Zhang, or Deep, any of you able to give an update?
Hey, yeah, I can go. So basically, the main update is there are a lot of tests in progress. Pretty much the test infra is being developed for EBS and GCPD. With GCP, David has made a lot of progress. We did discover that a couple of things are needed with regards to bulk verify and verify volume attachment. So that may require going down to the CSI spec and making some improvements. And finally, the last thing, or one of the other things we're looking at, is disablement of the CSI entry, of the entry plugins altogether from the entry code. We're thinking of aligning it with the overall effort being led by Ben around disabling all entry code. But yeah, that work is in progress and happening as we speak.
Cool, thank you very much for the update. Okay.
Because there feeds someone.
All right, next item is CSI online offline resizing, volume expansion to beta. Hemant, are you on the line?
Yeah.
Cool.
There was one PR pending in the external resizer that was merged. It's mostly at this point we have some bugs and tests to add, and then we'll be good to go. So yeah, that's
remaining work is test and a bug, you said?
yeah, test and a bug about block volume resizing.
Got it. Okay, looks like everything's on track. Thank you. Next item is CSI library, move mount library to external common repo. Travis, are you on the line? Michelle, do you happen to have an update here?
I think he's waiting on Tim to give the final review.
Okay.
So we'll have to ping Tim.
Okay. Next item is per node volume attachment limits. This is again either Hemant or Jan.
Fabio has marked PR for not counting AWS and GC volumes for CSI, and I resumed my test for the limits of all CSI drivers. I will see if it works, and if yes, it's ready for review.
Okay, so just to make sure I heard that correctly, one PR is merged, one PR is outstanding, and there are tests in progress?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jan. Next item is block volume support, which will remain in beta this quarter, but we're looking into doing stress testing and fixing known issues. Last update was PRs was out to move the entire mount lib to the utilities repo, which is the wrong status update. I think we just put that in the wrong place. Ben or Brad, any updates on this?
Sure. So Fabio's been working on the iSCSI bug that we have. We don't have a concrete resolution to it quite yet, though.
I think it was merged.
Was it merged?
Yeah, the reference counting was merged.
Okay, then that's good news.
Okay. Any other outstanding or ongoing work?
I have a board with a lot of tests and this kind of stuff. It's in progress.
Okay.
All right, so finish and test, it sounds like, and we're good on this.
Yeah, I think tests and any other outstanding bugs that exist are the remaining work.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Jan, and thanks, Brad. Next item is scalability testing. So last status was major PR was merged, working on fixing caching issues and test.
I think that comment is wrong because that's not my last comment. I think my comment is at row number 5.
Row number 5. Oh, interesting. Things have been all switched around. Okay.
For the current update, we have been producing test results for one node test cases of ephemeral volumes and PVC. For cluster-wide test cases are implemented, but for the jobs PR, we are waiting for a test infra improvement to run one job with many test cases, because otherwise we are facing some resource problems. We will also try some different test case parameters, like different number of volumes per pod or different number of pods per node to compare the results.
Okay. And so summary is cluster-wide tests are implemented and you're trying different test case parameters on those. And outstanding tests are node level stress tests. Is that accurate?
For cluster-wide test cases, we can't run these test cases for now because we are waiting a test infra improvement PR.
Okay.
Because they designed a improvement but not implemented yet.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. And it sounds like you guys were able to get some early results as well.
Yeah.
Cool. If you have anything interesting from that you think might be interesting for the rest of the SIG, feel free to send it out to the mailing list.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Just to make sure, okay. Next item is volume snapshot transfer. So I dropped the ball on this because I did not review the KEP in time. So I apologize for that. John, I think we want to switch this to design as the goal for the quarter. And the goal will be to get a KEP merged. And if we get it merged early, we can start coding it. And then we can move it to alpha next quarter, actually get it merged next quarter. Does that sound okay?
Yep, that sounds great.
All right, next item is new design for volume file permission handling. Consider everything from kernel changes to the Kubernetes API. Brad, Jing, Ben, any updates on this?
I don't have an update.
Okay. I think, I don't think Jing has any updates here. I haven't heard anything recently. So let's mark this as no update and we'll get an update next time. I assume UID, GID handling is the same thing. Hemant, do you happen to know anything different for non-recursive volume ownership?
No, I think I spoke with Jing offline about like whether she wanted to open that as a enhancement, and she thought it requires an API change, so she kind of not going to do it. And yeah.
Okay. So are we dropping this for the quarter, or are we saying that it's going to be part of number 9?
We're dropping it for the quarter, actually.
Okay.
Just for the quarter, yeah.
So let me go ahead and cross that out then. All right, cool. Thank you for that update. Next item is file permission handling for Windows, which we have as a standalone item from the rest of the Windows work. Deep, any updates on that?
No, I have not had a chance to sync up with Jing yet on that.
Okay. Next item is volume expansion for stateful sets. Any updates on that, Hemant?
So I just LGTM the PR actually. We requested the author of the PR to just do offline resizing as to begin with, because it was getting complicated, and he addressed the change like, I don't know, today morning or something. But I think it missed the enhancement freeze deadline. I don't know if he's going to request a exception or not. I don't know, but it's been approved and LGTM'd.
Okay. I think that's the kind of thing where they should be able to file an exception, since it was just today. They should have enough time to go implement it, but okay, thank you for that update. All right, next item is volume health. Nick, Ren, or Xing, any updates on that?
Yeah, so we actually discussed about this. Nick just updated the cap to address some review comments.
Okay, and the goal for this quarter was design, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is on track. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Next item is read-only handling. We had trouble finding somebody to own this. I think we said John preliminarily may be able to help with this. I'm guessing, John, you haven't had time to work on this yet?
That would be correct.
Okay. Let's leave this as no updates for now. Next item is CSI spec alpha beta GA designation. So there are a set of new proposals going out for the CSI spec. David Zhu has some changes that he wants to get in for CSI migration, which Deep alluded to earlier, around bulk volume attach verify and bulk volume attach verify. And then there was a discussion at the last meeting about getting secrets into a couple of calls for snapshots, specifically list snapshot, and then potentially the response or the as a data source secret on the create volume call. We in the CSI community need to decide which one of those features needs to be alpha, beta, and GA gated. If any of them do, then that's where this work will come in. Basically, whichever feature we decide to test it on first will be the guinea pig that'll go through this process.
There has been some request to add secret to node get volume stats RPC call as well. I think we'll just discuss this in the CSI call.
Yeah, let's do that. I think there's one scheduled for Wednesday next week.
Cool.
Next item is support containerized CSI node plugin in Windows with storage proxy. I saw that the KEP got merged. Any other updates here, Deep?
No, we just got the repo created for the CSI proxy, and next steps is to just start working on like getting in the alpha PRs.
Cool. Thanks a lot. That's awesome to hear. Next item is snapshots to beta. This is a very ambitious effort. So Jing, Xing, and actually I think I saw Sean Chen on the line as well are helping with this. Do any of you want to give an update?
So the CAP got merged. And yesterday we discussed about the breaking out common controller in the CSI meeting and decided to go ahead to do it. So
Okay. Cool. Any other updates?
I think that we have a lot of items, so and we have owners for those tasks. I think for the secrets, I think there was somebody sign up for that, right, at the last CSI community meeting to add those changes into the list snapshots.
He reached out to me. I have a meeting scheduled with him, I think on today or tomorrow to talk to him about that.
I think also, I think this is the secret thing can be added later, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. As long as it's an additive API change, we can delay it to post beta.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sean's changes on metrics is dependent on the controller changes. So, but that is the auto tree change, so that can wait a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely an ambitious task. So let's do as much as we can, and we'll take it from there. And thank you for all your hard work on this.
Thank you. I think we need to get the API review started soon, as soon as possible.
Yeah, I saw the email from Michelle on that. Are the PRs already out?
Yeah, PR's there.
Okay, cool. We'll try to schedule some time with Tim and get that going.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Next item is volume cloning. So the KEP here got merged. John, any updates here?
Yeah, so ran into a couple of things. The EDE test exposed. There's a bug in the external provisioner and a bug in the hostback driver itself. PRs are up for both of those. They just need to get merged, and then we can do backports, and we'll be fixed. So I think we're good. I think we're still good to try and hit beta for this release, unless Michelle disagrees.
Awesome. That sounds good. Thank you for that update. Next item is ephemeral CSI volumes, inline volume support. Moving that to beta this quarter. Patrick or Michelle, are either of you on the line?
Yes. We just had an API review with Clayton on it. So he had a number of feedback on the API. So I will sync up with Patrick to see if he's going to be able to make those changes.
Okay. Anything major or blocking or?
Nothing blocking. It's just we need to address the feedback from the API review.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Next item is CSI topology prepping for GA. And let's see, last status was Michelle has an idea how to do the backfilling, need to think through storage class changes and if it breaks anything. Any updates there, Michelle?
Oh, is this?
Or are the statuses mixed up?
I think it's mixed up.
You know what? I'm just going to nuke this. For everybody on the call who modifies the spreadsheet, please be careful when you're shuffling things around. it causes, just make sure if you sort or reshuffle, you do all the columns. I think these columns are not in line. Anyway, go ahead, Michelle.
Anyway, which item with the CSI prep for GA? Yeah, it's assigned to me. I haven't been able to start on it, but yeah, I plan to get to it sometime in the next month.
Okay. Next item is CSI driver skip attach pod info prep for beta. We were looking for an owner there. Any updates there?
I think I might have someone who can take this up. So
Okay.
if you can assign to me, I will just make sure that it
That
moves
would
through.
be awesome. Thank you. All right. Next item is improving CSI metrics. Sean or Michelle?
I have been working on not the CSI side, but the operational metrics improvement. I got a PR out. It's a little bit big. The previous one for provision and deletion was reviewed by Michelle and Hermat. And thus this time I also assigned them too for the attach and detach. However, there's a potential block over here, which is a Kubernetes attach and detach workflow. I discussed with Michelle briefly on that. Her comment on that, then since this is a to be deprecated workflow, we just don't care about that.
Okay.
So let me know if you guys, have any comments on that. And really, thank you very much for inviting me to this meeting.
Of course. Thank you for the update. Next item is execution hook for application Snapshot, getting that implemented as alpha. I'm not sure, Xing, if you're on the hook for this or somebody from SIG Apps.
Yeah, this one does not have any update yet. I'm supposed to move some of the POC code to the repo, but have not got time.
Okay.
On this.
Can we get maybe SIG Apps to help with this? Because really they should start taking more ownership.
That would be great. So maybe E9.
Feel free to CC me on an email if you want to get a thread started and see if we can get them to pick up some of this.
Okay.
I think Ian or somebody from that team should be able to help.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Next item is addressing CSI PV/PVC code for issue number 72347. This is currently unassigned. Any updates on this, Michelle, in terms of getting an owner?
Oh, this bug fix. Yeah, I'm not sure. These are all like really sort of corner casey type of things.
Right.
But it might actually, I think these issues might come up once we support ephemeral volumes, because I think it's related to the fact that we're using is likely not mount point instead of is not mount point. So this issue might prop up and become more urgent once we support ephemeral volumes.
Okay, so it sounds like it might be able to be rolled into the inline volume work, possibly?
Potentially.
Okay. Well, let's keep tracking it independently, and for now we'll leave the owner unassigned, and we can take it from there. All right, next item is the volume group API for snapshots, consistency groups, and spreading. I think the design for this is...
Spreading. Okay, so this is design in progress. I don't know when the spreading is added there. So Haley reached out to me.
Okay.
She said she's interested. Is this? I don't know if it's because of her. The spreading.
Yeah. So this was actually, I think, Michelle and I started thinking about Volume Group API late last quarter.
Okay.
And the angle that we were thinking about was for volume spreading, basically storage topology. We think that this would be a very nice way to be able to handle that use case as well. And Haley was looking into that last quarter as well. And so based on that discussion,
okay,
decided to roll these in together.
So yeah, so I did have a call with her because I was asking her for a use case. It looks like for the spreading, I think she still needs a custom scheduler to do that, because she wants to basically, so the volumes in the same stateful set has to go to like different racks, right? So, but if it's in the same group, usually you want them to be together. I mean, I at least I haven't found a way to say you different all the volumes in the same group go to different places. That that without scheduler, I think it seems to be.
So I think we have some ideas on this. Maybe let's sync up offline.
Sure.
It's not the highest priority because this is design. The code stuff is more important, but maybe when you have time, we can sync up and discuss the possibility.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So I think when I talked to her, I thought, I think that she still needs the group concept. I think right now she used some annotation.
Uh-huh.
For that, I think she can still use the group. So she is interested in helping out.
Okay.
So the scheduling part, the spreading part, I'm still not quite sure. But yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, sounds good. Next item is generic populator data source. John, updates on that?
No, I don't have any updates. I think we can figure out first what we want to do, as you mentioned, on GA for the data source stuff, because I think that has a significant impact on this, unless you disagree.
Sorry, GA on data source for PD.
In terms of opening up data source and removing the restrictions on data source, because then at that point it's just an external CRD, and it greatly simplifies.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the plan. That's what we want to do. But I think before we do that, I kind of wanted to think through how would somebody go and implement this thing, and how do we do the PVC hold off, meaning keep it getting ready and all of that.
Yeah.
So let's figure out that design, and once we have that, then we can. I think it's that the easy part is just lifting that validation.
Okay, I'll work. I will get back to that probably next week or so. I'm waiting for the. I need to get square on the taints and toleration stuff and things like that we've talked about, and see which approach is going to work.
Okay, that sounds good. And I think, relatively speaking, this is a lower priority. So
yeah.
This makes sense. All right, thank you. Next item is from Methusin, CSI out of tree, moving the NFS driver, fit and finish stuff. Methusin, any updates on this? Anybody aware of any changes to the CSI driver in the past couple weeks? The CSI driver for NFS? Okay, we'll get an update next time. CSI topology prep for GA. This looks like a duplicate of number 22. Michelle or John, do you know why there's a duplicate here?
I don't know why.
Okay.
And I don't know why John is assigned to this.
So my guess is this might have been something else at some point.
Yeah,
Add more tests, clean up code, can't move to GA yet because volume attach limit has a new field.
I mean, that does match up with CSI topology.
Okay,
It's not
well,
something I'm working on, though, I can tell you that.
all right, we'll go ahead and delete this. Next item is, oh, you know what it might have been? Moving the iSCSI driver. Does that make more sense?
No, not to me. But
Okay.
there could be a tie-in that I'm not thinking of.
Okay. Let's ignore that then. Moving fiber channel to separate repo. We had nobody assigned to that, so no updates there.
I thought we had that, though.
Okay. And I'm guessing we don't have anyone working on the iSCSI driver.
Yeah, me.
Are you working on it right now, John, or?
Which one are you looking at?
The CSI iSCSI driver.
Yeah, that one. I mean, I think that one's ready for people to try and use it. Quite frankly,
Oh, okay.
There's been some debate about direction and enhancing it to use Go plugins, but I'm not a fan of that. So, but yeah, it's ready for use. And then if we wanted to take it further, we're certainly in a spot that we can do that.
Okay. And in terms of having official build images, testing, that kind of thing?
You should put that in that note, and that'll be a task for sure.
Okay. So I think that's probably what the task is for this quarter.
Makes sense.
Okay. So let's say so looking for an owner for this. So if anyone wants to help, feel free to reach out to any of us and we can point you in the right direction. Post GA entry topology. We're still looking for an owner here as well, Michelle.
Oh, go ahead.
I think so. Half of the stuff I think is covered by migration.
Okay.
There's just one more thing outstanding about swapping the default storage classes. I think that's kind of on me to figure out how to do this without breaking people.
Okay. Okay. And then we decided to move the ownership stateful set to PVC design out. And then we have CSI out of tree, moving the flex driver to a separate repo. OffYC was owning that work. Any updates on that?
I haven't seen activity, any more activity from him, so I'm assuming he's not working on it anymore.
Okay. And then SIG Apps, PVC created by stateful set. Does anybody have an update on this by any chance? Okay. All right. So that is all that we have for this update session. Let's go back to the agenda. It doesn't look like anybody added anything to the agenda. Is there anything else anybody wanted to talk about today? All right, going once, going twice. All right, so we'll end early today. You get 20 minutes back in your day, and I'll go through and see if I can clean up this spreadsheet a little bit before our next meeting. All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks, Saad.
Thank you.
See you.
Take care.